Hello everybody, today we are going to be looking at the solutions to the web challenges of BroncoCTF 2025, of which at the time of recording there are 3. So let's get right into it. First, let's start up the Kali Linux VM. Meanwhile, let's actually read the question. Grandma has been baking her world famous cookies for decades, but she has always kept a secret recipe locked away. Nobody, not even her most trusted kitchen helpers, know the full list of the ingredients. She insists it's all about the perfect balance of love and a pinch of mystery, but deep down, you know there's more to it. Rumors say only grandma herself is allowed to see the recipe hidden somewhere in her kitchen. But you were hired by grandpa, who divorced her because she refused to share the recipe. Can you figure out the true secret behind her legendary cookies? Now, just by reading the question, it's pretty obvious that it's something related to cookies. So let's dive into it. Alright, so we have opened up Burp Suite and we are with our browser, the Burp browser, obviously. So let's get right into the question. So we've got a home page here with login. Okay, just clicking that will help you to log in. So we are a kitchen helper. Log out will probably log us out. Yeah, I've been kicked out of grandma's kitchen and grandma's pantry. You are not grandma, only grandma can access this page. So let's log in and let's just check the sources. So looking at elements first, usually this is where I check. There's nothing here. The CSS usually never has anything important. Go to grandma's kitchen. No, nothing else here. So because they did mention cookies, I will be checking in application. And look at that, there are 2 cookies here. We have a checksum and a role like this. So I'm, by the looks of it, right, this looks like an MD5 hash of the role here. So let's verify that with an MD5. So you can do this however you want. I'm just doing it like this. Okay, so and would you look at that, it really is. So just to verify, let's check both the hashes and let's check the one that we have here as well. So as you can see, they are pretty much the same. So we know that the hash is MD5. How do I know that this is MD5? Because I've seen far too many of these to at least have a hunch that it's MD5. So we know our role and we know that we've got to be grandma to get in. So what can we do? Maybe we can change our role to grandma first. And then let's try. Still the same thing, which obviously tells me that it's checking this checksum here. So let's just make the MD5 hash out of it. And then try this out. And let's try logging in. Nope, that doesn't appear to work. And you may ask why, because this is the guessy part of the challenge. So I got hung up on this for a couple of minutes, but what I ended up trying was turning the capital G into small g. So it's not grandma with an uppercase G, but grandma with a lowercase g. And then when you generate, you get this hash. Let's copy it, paste it in here, and hit grandma's pantry. Oh, now we have it like this. So what I'm going to do is also change it into lowercase g here, grandma, and there you go. We log in and we get the flag. Grandma bakes better cookies than Girl Scouts, and I will fight you over that fact. You should, my friend, you should. Alright, so that is the first challenge, and as you can see, it's got a shit ton of solves. right? 377 at the time of recording, and it's only worth 10 points. So let's go to the next question, Miku's autograph. So let's copy this and paste it down here. And it says, welcome to Hatsune Miku's fan club. There are 2 registered users, Miku user and Miku admin. And it tells us that at the moment we are not logged in. So the obvious thing is to just click this and see. And it gives me this. It says, access denied. You are not Miku admin. Now this question took me far longer than I'd like to admit. So I'm not even going to pretend that this was easy for me, though the solution for this is actually quite easy. So you'll see a lot of HTTP requests here, most of these coming from this embed, which is an iframe that's embedded into the page, that's embedding a YouTube video. So a lot of these requests are ignorable, but these 2 are what stick out to me and stuck out to me even then. So as you can see, this is an access denied, you are not Miku admin. So and this looks suspiciously like a JWT. So let's go to jwt.io and paste it in. And I was right. It is a JWT with a header, the body, and the signing key. So as you can see, we don't have the signing key. So I guess the first thing that I did was try and crack the JWT, right? Because it is the first thing to do. -d, and here I'm going to be using the dark web 2017 top 10,000 word list, because it happens in like that. And as you can see, the secret is not found. I tried a couple of other word lists, including rockio.txt, and none of it actually managed to crack the JWT. So I started looking for other alternatives to bypass authentication. The next thing, obviously, is to try and directly change this into Miku admin. We get something like this. Now, the signature will be wrong, obviously. So let's move in, let's paste it here and see. It's sometimes worth a shot, because it might be possible that it's not even verifying the signature. And you can see we got this invalid magic login. So clearly this is not our way either. So let's try something else. Now there are a couple of exploits here that you can do, but after a lot of trying, which was actually unnecessary, it turns out that the way to exploit this is to use the algnone exploit. So to understand the algnone exploit, what you need to know is that the JWT consists of 3 bits, as I mentioned before: the header, the body, and the signature. What you also need to know is that all 3 of these are just encoded in base 64, which is why we are able to decode it like this. So what we can do is, instead of setting the algorithm to be HS256, I can set it to be none like this, okay, and get rid of all equal to's that pop up with this encoding, okay. And this is fine, this can remain as it is, and I'll get rid of the signing key here, like this. And when I send it, there you go, you will get the second flag. So this is all there is to the exploit. So to recap, the first thing that you need to do is to get rid of the signing key part. Remember, I'm keeping this dot here. You don't delete that. You need to keep it. You just get rid of the rest of it. Second, I will change this to none. Apply changes, and I'll delete the equal to. And that's it. I'll send it. Now here's the thing. The get token endpoint will just give you a new valid JWT. Because in my testing, I noticed that if you the JWT has a very short expiry date, like a couple of minutes at best. So if you're hung up on this for too long, you will always see the invalid message, even if you're providing a valid JWT that you obtained from the web page. So periodically keep refreshing your JWT by getting a new token here and then applying your exploit. And that is it. That is how you solve the second web challenge. Now the third web challenge, I wouldn't call this a web challenge because you're not really exploiting anything. Okay, so this had the least solves at the time of recording, and by the time when we solved this, it had about 65 solves, I think. Let's copy this and let's paste it down here. So what you'll notice here is that it plays a tune for every time you click a key. So, right, so it plays a tune. So when we check out, the history, there's nothing much here. So that is just VirtualBox wilding as usual. So you can see on hitting the submit button, we get something like this. Now the thing here is this is a bit of guesswork. So this was solved by a teammate of mine. So what happened is I ended up guessing that okay, so we probably need to play Mary Had a Little Lamb with the phone's dial tones. Okay, so we just had to play Mary Had a Little Lamb with the phone's dial tones. It turns out I was right, but I was wrong on the fact that I thought this is a race condition. It is not a race condition. It is simply you gotta hit the right sequence of numbers here. So when I send this, it says wrong, right? So we need to find out how you dial Mary Had a Little Lamb using a phone. So what you can do is go here and dial Mary Had a Little. So and on this subreddit here, on this phone, right, or here on Mary Had a Little Lamb, there is this number here. So when you copy this and paste it in place of this and hit enter, that's a flag. Why do I think this is not a web question? Because you're not exploiting anything. You're not looking for a weakness in the web page or anything. You're really just solving a riddle. So this is more like an ARG as compared to an actual web challenge or anything like that, right? So yeah. So those are all the web challenges for the time being. I will be recording another video when wave 2 comes out. And I will obviously splice them all together so you won't see this segment right here. So thank you for watching so far, and I hope you found these walkthroughs helpful, because I know they'd help me. Thank you.